Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And as you might see, Rabbi Mark is on a short but well-deserved vacation. Oh, how do we know? Shabbat Shalom, everybody. And as you see, Rabbi Mark is not here. He's on a short but well-deserved break this weekend, as he and Deborah are off on a nice local adventure, and so it's wonderful for me to be able to help leading the service this evening, finally with people in our seats. So it's wonderful to feel that togetherness that we've been waiting so long to have. So and as we start our service, it's my great pleasure right now Dina to call upon our President Dina to now make our announcements and as we begin the service.
I know it's the moment you've been waiting for. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's wonderful to see you all here today. The beautiful actual flowers on our bima have been donated by Harley Rockoff in memory of Harriet. And I'm so glad that her favorite flowers were yellow, because so are mine, and they're absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Harley, and it's really nice to have real flowers up here. I do need to remind you all that we do have a general meeting this coming Monday, the 21st, via Zoom, and hopefully it will be our last Zoom meeting. I do ask you please to take a thorough look at the email that went out. The slate of officers is on that email. You need to scroll down. You'll find the slate of officers, and underneath that there's a button that you can vote online for the slate to approve. Obviously, if you don't want to approve, don't push the button. Coming up on the 4th of July, we have our fireworks booth, which along with our High Holy Day fundraiser are two of our greatest fundraisers for the temple. So if you'd like to help out and work at the booth, please contact Mike Kravitz. And please also, if you live in La Mirada and you can buy fireworks, please support our booth. Along with that, we have another fundraiser, Honey from the Heart, where you can order a jar of honey for the High Holy Days for yourself or for a gift. It really comes beautifully packaged, and it's a nice gift for family or friends. Thank you very much, as always, to Cantor Ken. We will miss Rabbi, but he'll be back next week. And next week will be Brotherhood Shabbat. The Brotherhood members will be doing the service. But again, I thank Cantor Ken for leading the service, and of course, Dr. Ray for tickling the plastics or whatever they are. And of course, our technical staff, Phil Carey, David Youngman, Chris Jasrak, and Arjun Banush. I wish you all Shabbat Shalom.
Dina, Shabbat Shalom, and thank you so much. We will, in just a moment, we will be continuing our service with the singing of Lecha Dodi, and in the meantime, we will be reading a beautiful reading. Actually, this is a quote from the very beginning, one of the very beginning prayers for the service of Kabbalat Shabbat. It's Psalm 97, and a beautiful selection. Sing to Adonai, a new song. Sing to Adonai, all the earth. Sing to Adonai, bless God's name, proclaim God's victory. Day by day, tell of God's glory among the nations, God's wondrous deeds among all peoples, for Adonai is great and much acclaimed. God is held in awe by all divine beings. All the gods of people are mere idols, but Adonai made the heavens. And so we continue now with the singing of Lecha Dodi, and you can find the words on page 20. So please please read along as we hear the words of Lecha Dodi. Welcome to our bride Shabbat. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקפלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקפלה. שמו וזכור בדיבורך השמיענו, אל המיוחד אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד לשם ותפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקפלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקפלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקפלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקפלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, אורי, אורי. שיר דברי כבוד אדוני, עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקפלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקפלה. בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה תוך אמונה עם סגולה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה, לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקפלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקפלה. We continue on page 3 with our reading before our candle blessings. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. And so we continue with the candle blessings on page 2. And Dina, do we happen to have Dina? Mrs. Jastra? Is there a particular person who is here to do the candle blessings, or am I doing them? Okay, all righty. So we will continue as we see on page 2 for the candle blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu Madlik Neshes Shabbat. 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 Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence. Please rise as you are able for our call to worship, the Baruch Hu, on page 28. La 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 la. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam vaed. La 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 la. You may be seated. Continue on page 30. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Amari v'aravi. Page 33. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. And you may rise as you are able for the Shema. Adonai seated. Continue on 36 with Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarata baham v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות הידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Page 38. All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You perform miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time. When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moshe, Miriam, and all of Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyfully. Michamocha, page 40. Kamocha b'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefel, nora tehilot osefel, malechutecha ra'u v'necha, Okay, ayam nifnu Moshe uMiriam, zeli anu ve'ameru, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praise are you, Adonai, redeeming Israel. And our next prayer, Hashkivenu, is not a prayer that's said, even though there are 3 prayers every single prayer times every single day, morning, afternoon, evening. This one's only said in the evening, and it reminds us about our own fragility and reminds us that we at all times depend on God, even when we think we have the strength to last forever. This reminds us that we pray to God to give us life so we can go to evening in peace and rise up again in the morning to a renewed life. Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu makenu l'chaim l'chaim. Hashkifeinu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom Ve'hamidenu Ma'akeinu Lechaim Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom Ve'hamidenu Ma'akeinu Lechaim Hashkifeinu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom Ve'hamidenu Ma'akeinu Lechaim Page 43, give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we grow forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your sukkah, your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukkat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Continue now with the singing of Vishamru, which you can find on page 44. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasot et HaShabbat L'dorotam berit olam Beini uvein bnei Yisrael oti leolam Beini uvein bnei Yisrael Oti leolam Vishamru v'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat Lasot Et HaShabbat L'dorotam berit olam Sheshet yamim Asa Adonai Et hashamayim V'et haaretz V'shamru v'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat Lasot Et HaShabbat L'dorotam berit olam Uvayom hashevi'i Shabbat vayinafash Uvayom hashevi'i Shabbat vayinafash V'shamru v'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat Lasot Et HaShabbat L'dorotam berit olam. A thought has blown the marketplace away. There is a song on the wind and joy in the trees. Shabbat arrives in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night. Eternity utters a day. Please rise as you are able as we continue now on page 46 with our tefillah our Amidah prayer. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Shabbatai Tifkach. Na 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 Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Shabbatai Tifkach. Na 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 Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Shabbatai Tifkach. Na 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 Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה, רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. May be seated as we continue with our Amidah. Days pass, and years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el ha'kadosh. We now continue on page 56 with the singing of Ritzei, the prayer where we ask God to accept the prayers that we have been giving with our full hearts, and in hopes that our prayers are accepted and listened to. Adonai Eloheinu ve'amecha Yisrael utefilatam be'ahava tikabel utehil ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha el karov lechol kora'av pnei el avadecha v'chonenu tefoch ruchacha aleinu v'techazena einenu בשובך לציון ברחמים ברוך אתה אדוני המחזיר תחינתו Page 59. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, and the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai hatov shimcha ulcha na'eh lehodot. Continue now with our prayer of peace, our prayer of shalom. Page 60. Yisrael Amecha, Yisrael Amecha, Tasim Leolam, Shalom Ra, Yisrael Amecha, Tasim Leolam, Ki Atahu Melech Adon, Melech Adon, lechol hashalom, Yatahu Melech Adon, Melech Adon, lechol hashalom, Shalom Yisrael Amecha, Yisrael Amecha, Tasim leolam, Shalom Ra, Yisrael Amecha, Nasim leolam, V'tov beinecha levarech et Amecha Yisrael, Bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב ישראל עמך, ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב ישראל עמך, ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל, המברך et amo Yisrael. Shalom, shalom, shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. We take now a moment for our own prayers, prayers which whose essence cannot be found within a siddur, but only can be found within our own hearts. So let us take a moment to listen to the prayer, very special prayer that resides within each of us. Avotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Yisheberach imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of our hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Misheberach imotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Misheberach imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Rachel. Bless us with a vision for tomorrow. Help us to reach out to those in pain. May the warmth of friendship ease our sorrow. Give us courage, give us faith, show us the way. Misheberach avotenu, Misheberach imotenu. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. So we now think of those who could use our blessings for healing and for prayer. For blessings for healing, whether or not it's in body, whether or not it's in their physically, it's in their emotions, it's in their souls, it's in their spirits. All of these are ways in which we can find greater comfort and greater healing at this moment. So we say together, Amen. We'll now continue with Yihiyu L'Ratzon. May God accept our prayers. Again, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. For those who might have had the opportunity to join myself and Rabbi on our Havdalah celebrations every month, where we've been inviting different artists, musical artists, to come in and share, we've had the opportunity to hear the visions of many different individuals, and I'd like to kind of continue that this evening, even though this individual is not here. I want to present a beautiful piece, which is written by a gentleman up in Portland who is working on a long-term project called Music and Midrash, and he is writing a song for every single Torah portion that's in the Torah. I don't know anybody else who's tried this, and I've been listening off and on to his different works, and I figured this might be a wonderful time to present this. His name is Mark Sherman. And I don't know if he's listening this evening, but if you're there, Mark, Shabbat Shalom, and again, Shabbat Shalom to everybody who might be here via the internet. One thing that we will, in this portion, which is called a chukat, this portion is really troubling in many ways. This is the portion in which we see the reason why Moses doesn't get into the promised land. This is the portion where the people are complaining bitterly, and they are complaining, and they're complaining and complaining to him. And this is the moment in which God instructs the people, Moses, to speak to a rock. Yes, speak to a stone, a large rock, and water will come forth from it, because God say it will come forth from it, and of course it will. And Moses, who's so fed up with his people at this point, doesn't quite do that. He says to the people, you rabble-rousers, this is what you're going to get. I'm going to hit this rock, and I'm going to talk to this rock, and it's going to bring forth water. And so he takes his stick and smashes it on the rock, and water comes forth. And there are many different interpretations as to why he was denied entrance into the promised land because of this. People say, come on, the guy's been doing this for 40 years. These people have been have been fetching at him and nudging him just endlessly. And come on, he lost his temper once in 40 years. Come on, that's a lot better than I could ever. I probably after 6 months I would have lost it. But there's an interpretation that says that, well, he was held to higher standard. Others who say he wasn't given entrance to the land of Canaan because he said that he would bring forth water for the Israelites, forgetting that it wasn't his power that brought the Israelites the water that they needed, but it was through God's action. But this portion is really, really interesting because we talk about the different times that we see society struggle over just sometimes the most basic things. And I find the irony in this is that this particular week passed unanimously by the United States Senate. When does that ever happen? That the holiday of Juneteenth, June 19th, the day when African Americans were given their freedom, were granted their freedom, was made into a national holiday. And miracle of miracles, the Senate unanimously passed that. And so I think it kind of shows the other side of that there are times when there are things that are so obvious that you have to come together. And so this is the song called Me Miriva. It's from Numbers 20, verse 13, and you'll hear Mark Sherman's own take on these verses, which says after Moses hit the rock, it says in the Torah, these are the waters of strife that Israel created. And so, but this is Mark Sherman's own wonderful interpretation of this most challenging sections and moments in the life of the Torah. Hema me meriva asher avu b'nei Yisrael et Adonai vayikadesh bam. Hema me meriva asher avu b'nei Yisrael et Adonai vayikadesh bam. Hema, hema, he meriva, hema, meriva, hema, hema, me meriva, vayikadesh bam. These are the waters of strife. We fight for survival, the fight of our lives, and yet we live in the care and the love of the Holy One. These are the waters, these are the waters of strife. Here we remember by the waters the love of the One. And so this portion, this beautiful midrash, his interpretation of this text, helps to remind us that yet we live in the care and the love of the Holy One. And hopefully when we when we see the bigger picture, when we see the beauty of life, and we see the value of lives, as every single person in the Senate did by acknowledging this event that happened a good 150 years ago, that it's important to recognize the value of life and the value of freedom for every single person in this country, that we can remember that hopefully we can bring that same message, that we can live in the love of the Holy One and spread that to our neighbors as well. We will now continue with the beginning of the conclusion of our service. We will turn now to page 282 with and to rise as we are able for the Aleinu. Page 282. לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, ולא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, ולא שם חלקנו בהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד You may be seated. There are stars up above so far away, we only see their light long after the star itself is gone. So it is with people that we love, their memories shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. And at this moment in our service, we take a time to reflect, think about those whom we love very much. We remember in our congregational family, Malcolm Dipperstein, the brother of Lily Kramer, for whom we are observing Shiva and Shloshim. And for our yahrzeit, we recall Sally Becker, Jerry Honigman, Alice Cohen, Ying Hua Pham, Adele Kruskal, Anna Frida Potashman, Lorraine Fox, Ed Rockoff, Bunny Davis, Pauline Falk, Samuel Hannan, Manny Franz, Harriet Rockoff, Rose Lusky-Sokol, Jenny Newman, Pauline Dean. And for those who we are still remembering in the year of on our Kaddish, Harry Bass, Martha Manriquez, Enid Malkin, Phyllis Ryback Diamond, Marvin First, Robert Weber, Marvin J. Gilman, Elvia Amirez, Marlene Bilsma, Bernard Haber, Sam Ursus, Rosalie McKenzie, Al Bruce Hamlin Jr., Joseph Rofe, Mildred Sane, Harold Weber, Karen Copeland, Rita Silverman, Sandra Pascas, Marlene Angel, Leslie Pascas Amador, Edith Zero, Concha Chavez, John Young, Gerald Kotkin, Ross B. Shear, Jenna Gordon, Doug Austin, Edith Chess, Berta Ursus, Ann Phillips. If there's anybody else who would like to mention the name of the loved one who you are remembering as well at this moment, please mention them. In a moment, then, we will all rise as we are able, as we look to page 294 for the recitation of Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah be'alama divra chirute ve'yamlich malchute b'chayechon uvyomechon ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלן. Friend here who helps so beautifully to have the services so well accompanied. And so we will then conclude our service with our closing song, Adonai Oz le'amo yitain. Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo, Adonai yivarech et amo. Shalom, Adonai yevarech et amo, Shalom, Shalom, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai yevarech et amo. And before we leave our sanctuary, please turn to page 5, and we are going to finish up everything with the singing of our Kiddush. By the way, Mrs. Jastrock, I did happen to have a Kiddush cup. So if you don't mind coming up here, we have this extra Kiddush cup, and so otherwise it would go to waste, and that would be a shanda. So please join along on page 5 as together we sing the Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho be'ava u'v'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereishit uyom tehila lemikra'ei kodesh זכר יציאת מצרים. בנו בחרת, אותנו קידשת, מכל העמים, שבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון נמלת. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Amen. Chaim. Ray, L'chaim, that's wine, by the way. My mistake. Okay. Okay. And so at this point, as we are dismissing everybody, my apologies for not getting the system correct. Maybe Mr. Tejas, or what is our, forget the process right now. Row by row. Well, I want to wish everybody a beautiful Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom.